The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. So on today's episode of Our Anime Fans Okay, but also on today's episode of Y'all Don't Understand Boundaries. Before we go any further, I am going to read you guys an excerpt from Please Stop Forcing Your Favorite TV Show on Me. We make these promises to be polite and so that the conversation moves forward, and sometimes we do intend to keep them. Other times we do not. The harder someone pushes their favorite show, the more likely some people are to decide to avoid it entirely. The psychology writer Oliver Berkman wrote about this tendency in a column for The Guardian last summer, suggesting that it may be explained by something called optimal distinctive theory. That is, the way we're constantly jockeying to feel exactly the right degree of similarity to and different from those around us, like a bunch of adult teenagers. He continued. Nobody wants to be exiled from the in-group to the fringes of society, but nobody wants to be swallowed up by it either. In toddlerhood and teenagerhood, this manifests as a bloody mindset refusal to do what we're told, precisely to show we can disobey our parents. Perhaps it never entirely goes away. That could explain it, or maybe it's something much simpler than all that. People just don't love being told what to do. Hey y'all, it's Harriana and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana and welcome to or welcome back to The Pirate Ship, also known as Harry Hood's Pirate Ship. I'm the captain. You are not my first mate and I got in the first mate because you want to know why? Bring your ear closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. No one's worthy of being the first mate. But hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriana and I like to make content based on nostalgia and family children's entertainment and all the issues that we find within those spaces. I make a lot of content that has to do with fandom and the problems that happen within those spaces, and that is exactly what today's video is about regarding the anime and manga series Dandadan. But before we go any further, Happy New Year! Hi, we made it to 2025. Let's go ahead and get this started. I am very excited for all the things that I have planned out for January. I'm not going to say too much, but I was already plotting my January stuff back in December. So let's move forward. Before we get into the details of what I am running my mouth about today, I just want to do some self-promotion. Me and my friend wrote a book together called You Still Cannot Call Me Sis. It is actually part 2 to our first essay collection we wrote together called Do Not Call Me Sis, which is a collection of essays that have to do with the subject of ableism and disability. We talk a lot about white feminism and we talk a lot about fandom nonsense in there just as well. So today's quote I am going to read to you all from that book and then we will move forward. And this is something that I am going to be doing throughout the year, where I will pull a quote from the book that has to do with the subject matter for what I'm speaking about today, and then we will move forward. Fandom has this ongoing superiority problem where people don't want to acknowledge that something they like has flaws. If this book interests you, the link to that will be down below. Deeply appreciate it. It is currently available in physical copy and digital copy. Digital copy is available right away. Physical copies will not be shipped out until late January, and the audio book is hopefully will be finished by the end of January. So let's go ahead and talk about the series Dandadan. Dandadan has already had a very problematic fandom. I don't even know where to begin. There have been other people on this platform that have made videos regarding how anti-black its fan base is, and this is something that I do talk about both in You Still Cannot Call Me Sis and Do Not Call Me Sis. So if that interests you, wait till that will be down below. Every other week, it is something new with this series, this fandom, just not being able to accept the fact that people are different than them, but it happens in different ways. Because regarding the anti-blackness in the situation, it basically was somebody who drew Momo and that other dude, I don't watch the show, that's why I don't know their names all that much, as like, you know, black people. And that is something that is very common when it comes to art, that they'll take these light bright characters and redraw them to make them black. It's the black edit debate. I highly don't give a fuck about your opinion. Blackwashing doesn't exist. But white people in the Dandadan fandom, and it wasn't even just white people, it was just non-black people, they just took that as an opportunity to, you know, harass black people. And like I said, every so often it is something new with Dandadan, but this right here is something I really did want to speak up about because I'm tired of the black edit debate. I already said what I need to say about that shit and I'm moving forward. But this right here is just showing that y'all need to, what's the word, touch grass? What's that shit that be coming from the most popular girls in school? The French girl will be like, how do you say, yeah, how do you say touch grass? That's how y'all need to be. Dandadan fans cannot accept the fact that people have very valid reasons for not wanting to engage with that series. And one of the major reasons that has to do with this show, and it's basically a lot of what the discussion for the show comes up about, has to do with the subject of sexuality and numerous other things that intertwine with that, because it is actually very, very sad, some of the takes that I have been seeing, but it genuinely does concern me because I feel like, you know how we always talk about how we're like in a meanness epidemic? Y'all do not understand boundaries, the lack thereof. Actually, before we go any further, I just want to warn you all, we will be talking about the subject of SA for the remainder of this video. So if that is something that is triggering for you, please watch with caution, because SA is the reason why I chose to sit out watching Dandadan. And it's also the reason why I chose to sit out reading the manga too, just as well. That is something I did talk about a bit in You Still Cannot Call Me Sis, and I just felt a lot more comfortable writing about it in the book than talking about it here on my channel, because I don't need people trying to, because people are weird, they like to make assumptions about you. No, but I know people who usually will go and read the book, they're usually reading it more so in good faith. I don't know, I'm just whatever. But as somebody who has dealt with that in the past, that is the reason why I just chose to sit the series out, because from the pictures that I have seen, it genuinely was unsettling for me, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to engage with that. Y'all have fun with the series though. I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all what you can and cannot watch. But then you have numerous other people that are like, oh, it's not that bad. Do y'all hear yourselves? Do you hear yourselves? You have numerous people sitting here and saying, it's not that bad, it's not explicit, nothing actually happens, she actually gets saved before it gets to that. And I'm like, okay, I get that y'all are understanding, I get that you all are explaining what is going on in that situation, but also we need to like start having discussions about how y'all do not understand what is going on through someone else's head. You do not understand how these things affect people. There are certain things that people just genuinely can't intake because it's just too heartbreaking and it is too traumatizing for them. And to be honest, the way Dandadan fans have been acting regarding Dandadan season 1 and just the series overall is reminding me a lot of Euphoria fans' behavior during the first season, specifically when that was the only season out. And whenever someone brought up a valid critique about season 1 of Euphoria, which in my opinion is not good, like I don't think Euphoria overall is a good series, not even the first season. The fans were so quick to shut you down and try to downplay every little problem you brought up with it. And one major reason a lot of people chose not to watch Euphoria any longer had to do with the fact that Euphoria had a lot of triggering material. It was beyond SA. There were issues with domestic violence. There were issues with drug use. Like, it is not for the faint of heart. That's why a lot of people chose not to watch the series. But Euphoria is one of those shows that it reminds me the way a lot of anime fans act, where its fans are like, oh, you should watch it, you should give it a chance, you should do this, that, and the third. Even though it's not all that good, you'll be up to date on what's trending in pop culture. But then again, when you actually look at the material that is given, people have valid reasons to want to sit out on it. It would be one thing if Dandadan and Euphoria were wholesome series, but they are not. But y'all especially need to understand that you cannot tell victims what they can and cannot engage with. Because I actually made a post about this on Threads, you know, the Instagram text app. But I did make a post about this saying that y'all might actually be upset with me for saying this. But Dandadan having to do with SA is a very valid reason for people not wanting to engage with the series. Especially because of how young the characters are. And there were other people saying that they agree with me, saying like, yeah, that's just something I just don't want to engage with. And that's fine. But it's not even just with the SA situation that has to do with Dandadan. Anytime somebody gives this show any slight criticism, their fans are so quick to jump down their throat. And I understand being defensive of things that you enjoy. I understand like, hey, I don't like your opinion on this storyline. Here is why I feel differently towards it. Like, we can sit here and have conversation about how you feel differently towards this one thing, but I feel differently towards another. But also, we need to have the conversation about how y'all cannot invalidate people's trauma. Because you know how people always talk about, oh, it wasn't necessarily explicit, there was nothing that happened. Oh, from what I have read around, people that are survivors were triggered by those things. So what are you trying to say? And I get it. It's supposed to be a commentary on these things. I get it. It's supposed to show that they're bad and all of that. But there have been numerous people that actually have spoken up about how they don't like the way Dandadan uses SA in its storyline. And there's actually a great article written about this from the Mary Sue that I'll have linked down below if you guys would like to check that out. But it is just getting very concerning at this point because fandom has always had its issues, but I feel like fandom is getting significantly worse, especially since 2020 when the pandemic happened and we got so many new people that have invaded these fandom spaces. Because one thing I have noticed with our society, a lot of y'all cannot separate yourselves from your favorite TV show. A lot of y'all cannot separate yourselves from your favorite TV show. So when someone says that they don't want to watch something, you see that as an attack on you. And that is something that I have always noticed when it has come to anime fans. And people in my comment section was mad about me for talking about that, but I was like, oh no, because a lot of these occurrences happen with anime series. Like, you mentioned anything about how you don't care to watch the big three. I mentioned that I don't want to watch Bleach, I don't want to watch Naruto, I don't want to watch fucking One Piece. And people in the comment section were like, well, you still should check that out. Even with me sitting here saying that I don't really care to watch Chainsaw Man. Part of that reason I don't want to watch Chainsaw Man is because it's triggering. Y'all heard that? Please stop suggesting that show to me. Genuinely stop doing that. I understand wanting people to check out something, but also at the same time, we cannot persuade people to engage with media that makes them uncomfortable. And yes, there is a lot of media out here that is made to make you uncomfortable. A lot of art is made simply for the fact of uncomfort. Like, I get that. Art is subjective. Art is not always here to make you feel good. A lot of art out here is meant to make you feel unsettled. But also, people know what they can and cannot handle when it comes to being unsettled. There are certain things that I can absolutely handle in our media, but then there are other things that I can't handle though, and I am not going to state those because y'all not about to get me like that one episode of Total Drama Island when everyone told their fears on camera. But like, there are things that I genuinely do enjoy. I do enjoy horror films. I know a lot of people cannot handle horror movies. I just know a lot of people can't handle horror events in general. Because I'll give y'all something that happened probably last August. I got invited to an event that was helping to promote the new Alien film, and I asked one of my friends if she wanted to go with me, and she said yes. Her name's Epiphany, by the way. Hey, if you're watching. But I asked Epiphany if she wanted to go to this event with me. She said yes, but I straight up told her what it was. I said, hey, it's an escape room. It is a horror event. And she told me that things like that do scare her, but she still did want to go. So when we got there, I did talk to her and I told her, thank you for coming with me, but if you get too scared, I'm not gonna force you to stay in there with me the whole time. We can leave. And you want to know what we did? We did not make it through the entire escape room because she got too scared and wanted to go out, and I left with her because she was my guest. I brought her along with me and I stood by her side. Like, it literally is just that simple to respect people's boundaries. It's not that fucking hard. Like, that is just not a lot of people just don't get. Stop thinking people are against you because they don't want to do the same things as you. Stop thinking people are against you because they don't have the same interests as you. But seriously, stop thinking people are against you because they don't want to engage with something that's probably triggering for them. And I hate how a lot of people like to brush this off as, oh, y'all are too soft, y'all are too sensitive, yada yada yada. If you're one of those people, please leave my comment section. Please, just get the fuck out. And I get that. Like, there are certain things where I'm like, yeah, I do feel like I need to grow a tougher skin about, because I am somebody that's always been very sensitive. But when it comes to the subject of work, business, finances, oh, I have a very tough skin when it comes to those things. I'm not about to get upset and crying when my professor sends me back my paper and was like, you need to revise this essay, you need to revise this paragraph specifically. I'm not gonna get mad about those things. Like, when it comes to sensitivity and work, it's an entire discussion for another time. But when it comes to sensitivity and triggers in our media, y'all need to stop. Like, y'all need to get some decorum. That is the end of this video. I just wanted to get on here and make a quick rant because this just really upsetted me. And like I said, are anime fans okay? Are anime fans okay? I don't even know if I'm gonna make this a series on my channel because every so often anime fandom, and it's not even just anime fandom, cartoon fandom be acting like this just as well. Y'all know about all that cartoon community drama that has happened along the years. Honestly, the anime community and then the Western cartoon community, they mirror each other in numerous ways. But that's pretty much all I have to say. If you guys are interested in the book, I will have the link to that down below. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this video. I have a lot of stuff to take care of. I do have some major announcements. I am going to be a part of the official MomoCon fashion show. I am going to be debuting some new pieces, but also showcasing a lot of the pieces that are for my shop. It is going to be at Charlie's Collectibles Show in Stone Mountain, Georgia. It is a free event. Parking is free too, by the way. Yeah, I am super duper excited. I am gonna post something on my community tab to help promote it and everything like that. But if you are in the area and if you're looking for something fun and free to do this weekend, come check it out. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a great day, night, whatever time of the day you chose to watch this. I'm just thankful that you watched it with the ads on. All right, thank you. Goodbye.
Now that you see, you should beware of the power of three. They come to fight as fast as they can. They're dangerous yet fabulous. Because the Eutonia made them eschew. They are the colors of pink, green, and blue. They'll catch you in the blink of an eye and do it all before bedtime. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. The Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shot.